Okay, there you go. Now it's working. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is T-Bone here. Welcome to a live stream of Gemstone Legends episode. So today, what I wanted to do is showcase how I do, like my thought process for how I select teams to fight against a raid boss. And if I have an idea, like what do I do and how do I build it? What do I think about when I'm using equipment? I was actually just doing this earlier, and I thought, it might be good and might be fun to do this live, so that you can see, just sort of my thought process as I'm doing this. And so take a look, let me know if you have any questions, and we're just gonna dive right in. So what I'm focusing on right now is I'm trying to go up against Bastet, okay? And I already know the setup I normally would do. Okay, I already know that normally this is the setup I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Streetbog. I use Ghidorah to, do both vulnerability and also decrease defense, Etro for increased attack, and also critical damage. And then I use Martin to basically tank all the hits. Well, the thing is, with Martin, he can still die pretty easily. And so one of the things I kind of wanted to do, and I can get like over 1 million damage easily with this team, but I wanted to try something different, right? I wanted to sort of see like what different builds I can use. And so I thought about going back to using Lenora, all right? And so Lenora was a hero that I had used, and she basically had, this skill that I really, really liked that got a little bit nerfed because her chance to grant invincible got dropped from 100% to 50%, and so it made her half as effective. But when it worked really well. So I wanted to sort of like come back and take a look at this again and see what else I could do to make this work better. And so my thought process is I want to use Lenora on Gorak, so that Gorak never dies, and Gorak will always be, Gorak is always going to be the one that will be selected. And what I want to do is I want to see what I can do to, use this Lenora as a hero to try a different build, see how it works out. So what I need to do is I need to, I'm going to spend some gems on this because I'm going to be removing a bunch of her, equipments. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start by taking a look from scratch and see, okay, what do I need to do? And what I'm going to focus on is I'm going to focus on two things. I'm going to be looking at her, and I'm going to be pairing her up with another hero, because what I want to do is ultimately I'm going to go back to this view here so you can see what I'm thinking of. So what I want to do, I want to get rid of Martin, and I want to get rid of Streetbog because I want to try and see if I can limit the number of colors I need to worry about. And so one of them is going to be Lenora, as I mentioned. Let's see where she is. So I'm going to put Lenora right here, and the other character I'm going to be selecting, I think I'm going to go with Diana. Okay, and so I'm going to talk about the reasons why I'm choosing Diana and Lenora, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to equip them. All right, and so Diana, the reason why I'm using Diana, I'm going to talk about that as well. So I already told you why I'm thinking of using Lenora, and the reason I'm going with Diana is because Diana's skill gives Soul Replenish and Mana Breath. Soul Replenish gives 5 mana per turn, and Mana Breath gives everybody +4 to mana gain. So that means every time they do jet matches, they're going to gain more mana. And so what I want to do is I want to try and get Lenora to activate her skill as often as possible, because there's a 50% chance that she might fail, and I'm going to grant it against, somebody who might, die from Bastet's attack. But in order for me to, really be effective, I need to make sure I can go first. So I need to be fast. All right, I need to be really, really fast. And my fastest hero right now is between Sigil and Streetbog. So Streetbog is at 354, and I know that if I can get 354 speed on one of my heroes, I can guarantee to go before Bastet. It is really, really, really important. Okay, and so that is my thought process. And for the benefits of others, if you wanted to take a look at my previous video, I did talk about how I used the team that uses Streetbog and also Martin to basically to fight against this boss. Okay, but we're going to try something different, and so let's go ahead and do that now. So between Diana and Lenora, I'm going to try and get Lenora to go faster. I mean, ideally, if I can get both of them to go fast, that would be great. And so one option I can do is I can just like, you know, get rid of everything from Street Block and put it on them, but then I'll be spending a lot of gold to do that. So let's try and see if we can do this a little cheaper. All right, so the first things first, let's take a look at Lenore. I want her to be faster because I want her to go first. I want her to be able to get more of her skills off. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go filter, and I'm going to take a look at what I have for Swift. Swift set is what you need to do to make sure that you can gain speed. And the other thing that you need to do is you also need to make sure that you are equipping for speed on your boots. So that's actually the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to look for speed boots. Okay, and for this particular build, I don't care about health, and I'm not worried about anything else, because when I'm up against Bastet will only attack against dark heroes if you have a dark hero on your team. And because its skill only attacks a single unit, you're not worried about any of your units ever losing health. Okay, so in this particular case, I'm only going to focus on speed. So this is a test build, and we're going to see how this works out. So what I want is I really want to have as much speed as possible. So 6 stars is going to be ideal, and anything else really is just going to be, you know, a bonus. And so the things I'm looking at now then is, okay, so Lenore has 21 mana gain, so it doesn't really matter if I use additional caster set. And so what I choose to use for my boots, for example, then just depends on what other synergies I might want to go with. And the only other thing that I can think of is, well, the only things that give you speed, there's 2 sets that give you speed, Swift and I think Mystic, right? I think Mystic gives you speed as well, but we're not going to be able to combine both, right? So Mystic gives you 20 speed increase, but you require 4 of them. Swift gives you 15% speed increase, and you also need 4 of them. Nothing else in the set, the list of sets will give you speed. And so we're not going to go with that. And so instead, I'm just going to say, okay, let's go ahead with this, and then we're going to put in speed. And since I don't really care about anything else, I'm going to use one that's already pre set up. And I have one here that's at 15. So a max level for a 6-star, you get 43. And at 15, I get 40. So I lose about 3 speed here, and hopefully I can make that up. Remember, the goal here is 353 or something or close to that. So instead of spending a lot of gold right now to try and upgrade, I'm just going to go ahead and equip this. Okay, so I'm going to equip this so I can get 40 speed immediately. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see what I can do with my Swift sets. So the first thing I'm going to do, Swift set, I can also now do another filter and say, since I don't care about anything else, I want additional speed on top of that. And I'm also going to take a look through my equipped artifacts and see what I can do. And so generally what I want to try and do is, you know, normally when I do this, I would do it individually. I will individually search for, you know, equipments that I care about. Because if you take a look, like depending on how many you have, it could become a little overwhelming. All right. And normally when I'm doing like a speed build, I try to do the speed Swift set on the weapon, our helmet, and on the shield, because what I find is I generally don't have the Swift sets that give me things like health percent or attack percent or something like that. So this frees up the glove and the armor for me to be more selective on what I want. But right now, I still need 4 total, so we're gonna go with this. So what I want to do is I want to take a look and see like who do I have this equipped on, and do I really need them, etc. Sometimes what you find is, you know, like I put them on a hero and I don't use that hero anymore, and so I can, you know, safely get rid of them. And so you can see I actually put the Swift set on a couple of my healers actually. So Gyret and Turret both have speed. And so what I have here is I actually have a really good weapon that has a 10 speed bonus. I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And then let's go ahead and move on to the helmet, right? So reducing the total number of items you look at is going to also help you make better decisions, because like you don't get confused as to what you're looking at. So this is my personal sort of like, thought process as I'm going through this. Right now we're looking for Swift Set with speed on it. And so let's see, we got Zarkon, Gaffadeath, and Aurora, all of these really important heroes that have speed on it already. Serda and Helica, these are all heroes I use a lot, so I'm not going to change it. Astrid also has it. This one only has a 4 increased speed. This one has a 5 increased to speed, and that's sort of like the only one I have available. Everything else I kind of don't want to get rid of. Zora only has 4, Grima has 1. I have Ursula that I'm using in Guild Wars right now, so I'm not going to change that. Nefre has 9, but I need her to have speed. And then Daphne I'm used, but this is a 3-star. So this looks like a reasonable option, so I can go ahead and equip that. I have 2 more to go, and we're going to move on to the shield. And you can see that I don't actually have any options in the shield right now, so I'm going to move on for now and see if I have anything for the glove. I don't, and for armor I don't have that either. So let's take a look now before I start taking off of others. What I normally do is I go back and check. All right, so I still need about 90. I need about 90 more speed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, well, I still need 2 more equipment. So if I didn't worry about adding speed in here, what choices do I have? And you can see I don't have any more for the shield because it's all used up. And then let's take a look now. So we have so now I can use gloves, and so these are my options here. But if I were to say who I can get rid of, let's take a look. Like, this is always the decision making that I have to do. And so I'm gonna take a look, and we have Valentina, speed 3. That doesn't, I mean, that will help me, right? Because what I can say is, because I only care about the speed boost, I don't care about anything else like the stats and whatnot, I could technically use this. I could actually take this from Valentina and get additional 3 speed, because I don't really care about the stats otherwise. Because I kind of don't want to take it away from any of these. Like Yabe, this is a 5 speed boost, but then I'm going to pay more. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do this. I'm going to go ahead and take it off here. And I'm going to equip. So I'm going to replace I'm going to take it off of her, and I'm going to place on. It costs a little bit of gold, but a little bit cheaper because this is a 4-star. Okay, I have 1 more to go, and it's going to be between a shield or armor. And so let's go ahead and make sure that we take a look here. So again, Elias, I'm not going to take away from. Ozanka, Turret, Astrid. These are all heroes I'm actively using, so let's go ahead and move away from that. And let's take a look here. For the armor, we got Soliana with 5 speed, Sigil with 3. I could actually replace that. 4 for Ozanka and 5 for Cyril. I think this one is actually not because of speed. I just wanted to give a more critical rate, and so I don't really have great options right now, but I do need to pick one. So because the most I can gain is probably just another 5 or so, I'm going to remove the speed requirement, and I'm going to take off the show equip artifacts, and then we're just going to go ahead and see what I got here. So we can put in an armor, or yeah, I can only put in armor, so that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on now. And now what I've got is my 4. So it's at 303. I'm kind of concerned that may not be quite enough. So let's take a look now and see, not worrying about anything, but just the highest amount of speed I could get from my other equipments. So let's see, we got 15 speed here, so that's good. 15, this one's 16 for Streetblock, 4 for speed 11, 17 speed on Martin, but I'm not going to take it off of him. So I'm going to go actually do this. I don't want to take away from anybody right now. All right, so we got 11 15 is probably the highest, around 16, right? So this is where I'm just going to continue to look, you know, like where I can get the most out of my speed. So 16 there, and this is where like potentially if I'm really looking for something here, I might actually say, you know, I might need to actually, I might need to level up something. But right now, I think 16 is the winner. It's too bad that the filter doesn't give me things like, hey, you know, like search for a, you know, a certain number or value that I care about. All right, so we're gonna go with this. So we'll do 16. There was someone that's 16. Where did it go? We'll do this one. Okay, so now we've got 319 speed. Additional ways that you can get speed is through your cabinet. So right now my speed for green is at 10. I need to be upgrading these anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and pump some into it. We're gonna go into level 14. That's probably all I can afford. I could actually go to level 15. That will use up all of it. So that I gained about 4 speed right there. And now let's take a look at Bastard. So Bastard is at 320. 320 is his speed. I just need to be higher than 320 right now. All right. So let's see. If we go back to... So this is my process, okay? It's like, this is literally like how long I actually spent just like thinking about all these. So I'm at 323. So I actually have sufficient amount of speed right now because I added that 4 from my cabinet. After the first turn, then the speed will double, so that's not going to matter. But the most important thing is to go first. Okay, now let's go and take a look at Diana. And this is where, you know, for Diana, like I'm not going to do the same thing, but ideally if I can get her speed also really fast, then I could actually, you know, make it so that I can make it so that both of them will go first. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on giving her mana gain. And so you see her mana gain is 23. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, let's go ahead and give her, you know, give her something to help with getting her skills going as quickly as possible. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and equip here, and then armor. Usually, like these are the ones that I have a lot of speed on these as well. So let's go ahead and take a look here. 5, and like it doesn't really matter as much because she's not going to get targeted. And so I'm just going to go ahead and equip, and then when it comes time for me to unequip like for free, I'll go ahead and do that. So let's see, do I have anything on the boots here? Okay, so I actually have something on the boots that gives me speed as well, so I might as well take advantage of that. That's kind of like what I'm thinking. So now I've got 2 sets of cast set. I'm going to be able to activate her skill more often as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and just look for speed. Again, I'm not worried as much about her her stats. I think just by having this on here, it's going to be pretty helpful. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and you know, like I'm actually getting pretty good stats just by doing this. Do I have anything here? If I can have anything that this one, yeah, I had this one up to 15, but it's a armor that I normally wouldn't use because it just increases defense, like there's no percentage or anything like that. So instead of destroying, I kept it, and it turns out that I can actually use this right now. So you can see her health isn't great. Her speed is 305 though. Like honestly, like if I had 305, I need an additional 15. So this gives me 11, right? If I max level, it gives me 11. If I use a 6-star, that's 15. I could actually make Diana go faster too. So let's take a look. I might actually be able to do this. So just by doing this, I was actually able to go a little faster. Like I actually did better than going through Swift. So you can sort of see, like, you know, I learned something here, right? Like I could actually do better. I can actually be better. So let's take a look. I think the one that I didn't really spend a lot of time looking into is this one. So like speed is 12, this one is 5, and this one automatically I think I can go ahead and equip. I can replace. I'll spend 130,000 gold on that. But now I'm at 312. I need 8 more speed. If I can net 8 more speed, that would actually be really cool. This is now where I can say, okay, let's go ahead and upgrade, right? If we upgraded this to max level, that's gonna get us to 40. So then we will get also Diana to be above 320 speed. So now we have 2 units, all right? That's faster than Bastet. Hello, Don, and everybody else. Thanks for joining me here. So I talked a lot. This is really just, you know, I wanted to show like how I would do my live team building, and I did it. And because I'm testing it for the first time, I don't know who is going to be targeted here between Ghidorah, Etro, or Gorak. And so let's take a quick look first, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dark, Epic, and Rares. Okay, so Gorak, let's take a look at health. So his health is at 2400, Etro's 2200, and Ghidorah's 1900. So Ghidorah is actually going to be the one that will be targeted. Okay, I think that's going to be the case. So because I don't know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the potion that's going to should I do revive or should I do invincible? I'm going to bring invincible. So Dragonfire is going to be really helpful here. Okay, and so we're going to use Dragonfire to prevent Ghidorah from dying, and we're also going to use Lenora as much as we can. And then let's take a look and see if we what skills we care about. So using Ghidorah for the accuracy is going to be okay, but I don't usually have a problem landing. Health I don't need. Diana, does she increase speed? Health we don't need. So let's go ahead and use Ghidorah as a leader. Okay, so Ghidorah is going to give us increased accuracy, and I'm going to bring in Skyron to slow down Bastet so that we can continue to go a little faster. Okay, Don, thanks for the plug here. And so now we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and test out our build now and see how we're doing. We're up against a 5-star level 1 boss. We're kind of like in my guild, we're kind of stuck on the 5-star bosses. We can't quite get over the hump of getting to 6 stars, but that's okay. All right, so you can see here now, I have tested it and we are correct, right? So now both Diana and also Lenora are going first. Okay, and let's see. But she is not, unfortunately, going to be able to. I don't have enough green gems. Like I wanted to do only green gems and purple gems, and so I believe Bastet is going to attack Ghidorah. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first use Dragonfire on Ghidorah. So even when she gets targeted, she's not going to die. And then the next thing I'm going to do here is I don't have any dark gems to match. So I'm just going to go ahead and match something here. So now Diana is ready to go. We need Lenora to be to be able to go as well. So you can see here. So now the goal is to use Lenora against Ghidorah, and then we're going to use Gorak to attack. Okay, so we don't know how well this is going to work, but we're gonna test it out. And so Diana, what she does is we have Mana Breath, and we have Soul Replenish. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I can't do anything right now though, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and try and activate. So we only get Assassin's Mark. That's unfortunate, and we're going to go ahead and now and try to match the gems for Gorak. Now, I'm not activating Lenora's skill right away because it only lasts 2 turns. And the board isn't great for me right now, but I can at least do this. Okay, so you can see that Gorak gained 4 for mana gain, so he's able to use his skill a bit more. I also have mana potion for if I need more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and try and activate this and give Invincible to Ghidorah. I was able to do so. That's great. I'm actually going to go ahead and use a mana potion and, give my Gorak a little bit more damage output. And this is where I'm going to show you something, right? So like technically right now, what I'm doing is I'm going to give Ghidorah another chance to land her skills that doesn't land. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to waste 1 more set just to try again. And so at least we get decreased defense. Ideally, you're going to get decreased defense and vulnerability, because when you do attack here, now you can get more and more. Generally, like when everything goes right and Godora's health is really low, Gorak's health is really low, I can get him to deal about 90,000 or so. So you can see right now we're at 57,000, which is still good because the health of the boss is a little bit low, right? Now we're going to save this a little bit. Godora is ready to go. We're not worried about Godora right now, but there's no green gems or dark gems anywhere. So that is really unfortunate here, but we're just going to go ahead and do some gem matches. We're going to be able to do some damage from that. And because okay, this is where I needed to pay more attention, because Gorak lost his health. He needed to actually get the invincibility from Lenora afterwards, right? So that's the other thing to keep in mind. You have to sort of manage this, because I'm using different colored heroes. Gorak actually ended up getting attacked. So this is the test. So now I know, right? If I didn't have Godora, if I had Meira, that would have been better. And then Etro, maybe I don't need to use Etro. Maybe I could have brought in another hero that gives me positive attack. Like, I'll lose a little bit. But now the problem is I lost my damage dealer, but you can see I got some damage in there. So like what I could have done is I could have just like used up all my potions, and that could have been okay. But again, this is really just like me testing this out. So now I sort of learned something, right? It wasn't perfect. It didn't work out as well as I would have liked, but that's okay. Right? So we're going to go ahead and now what we're going to do is we're just going to try and, do more damage here. And since I still have another potion here, I'm going to go ahead and use that for now, just so that I could, keep my unit alive for a couple of turns. They're going to attack Godora for sure for the next 2 turns. She's not going to die, right? And now we have time to continue to, we can still get some damage in there. Like, it's not going to be as much, like, because, Gorak is really the one that was able to do the damage, but, we're still going to be able to do something. All right, so we're going to continue to do this, and then we're going to leave Lenora alone for now. And now we can just kind of focus on doing the damage this way. Okay, so that's kind of like, how I tested it. It could work. Theoretically, this could work if I could have kept Gorak alive. Okay, because he died, we're only able to get approximately 262,000 damage, but I think we could have easily gone closer to, maybe closer to 1 million or so based on what I've seen so far. All right, and so here we get the invincible again, and then it really, Diana's skill for both soul replenish and also mana gain is actually a really good skill. It actually really helps, because you're able to allow your allies to charge up their skills much faster, and they are gaining 5 mana each turn as well. Okay, so that's something to think about as well. If you haven't been using Diana, she actually is quite useful. All right, so just continue, and you can continue to use her. Like, she can constantly activate her skill, which is really cool, right? And then so let's go ahead and do this. I'm kind of curious now, like, how much damage I can do, and I'm going to compare that against the damage I'll be able to do. Like, I can show you how my other team, how it works, and like, I'm actually getting really lucky with my 50% chance of activating. It's actually working quite well. And so let's see. So Dawn, you don't have Godora and Etro. That's okay. So this is the optimal for me. Optimally, I can use Godora for, optimally I'm using Godora for both, decreased defense and also vulnerability. But you can also get the same thing from, let's say, Meira has the same ability, or you can choose one of them, right? You can say, like, bring Alton for the decreased defense. You can use another hero for increased attack. Like, all of these combinations will boost you. Like, you may not have the optimal, but use what you can. So right now, this is where the boss's speed is a little bit of a problem for me, because I only have invincibility for 2 turns, and this is going to run out next turn. And so now this is where, I'm going to have to gamble and hope that I'll be able to grant invincibility for 2 turns, which I was able to. And so then we're going to go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, and so because there is vulnerability, and also vulnerability only matters if you're using your special skills to attack, but decreased defense allows more of your damage to go through as well. And also Ghidorah has Assassin's Mark, so that's also going to deal more damage. So like we're at 292, like it is not going to be nearly as high as I normally would be able to do. But you can sort of see we're still able to, like, it adds up a little bit. Okay, it adds up. And let's see, so we get recovery, but we don't get the invincibility. And in the for the sake of like keeping this a little bit shorter, and also I'm trying to save my potions, I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go. And I don't want to activate her so much. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up losing Ghidorah. We're at 16 turns, but that's okay. Like I think for the purposes of testing, I was able to show you how this works out. And so what I've done is, I've shown you sort of like how you could actually keep Gorak or Ghidorah, whoever you have, alive by bringing the hero that is faster. Okay, so in this case, it was really a matter of like I needed to put the invincibility on the correct hero, and the way to know which one to do is the boss is always going to attack the color that is strong against. So in this case, it's always going to attack against a dark hero, and it's always going to attack one that has the lowest health. All right, and so that is with that is how you do it with Diana and with Lenora. These two heroes I don't see used as often by others, but if you combine them, you can actually get some pretty good results because the boss doesn't do AoE damage. This only works because your other heroes aren't getting attacked. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the team up a little bit, and I'll sort of show you like how I normally would do this. So normally what I would do is I would put in the health potion here to keep Martin alive, and you'll see what happens here is with Martin, because of the change to Martin, he got debuffed, not debuffed, he got nerfed quite a bit. Okay, so his skill now doesn't give him as much defense, so more of Bastard's attack goes to Martin, right? And so what that means is he usually loses his health a lot faster now and could potentially die. And so we're gonna go ahead and save here, and let's go ahead and regenerate everything. We have enough potions to go through. Let's now take a look and see how you would play, or how they've said you're supposed to play with Martin. So you can see here the only hero that's faster than Bastard is Streetbach, and so this is where the first turn I always have to use my potions, and I generally recommend using the medium potions to activate because you have a lot of versatility using the small potion for other things. So try to save if you can. So we're gonna go ahead and activate that, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, so we're going to get Streetbach going. So Streetbach also got nerfed a little bit, so you're not going to get as much mana per turn. Like over the course of 2 turns, you only get 25 instead of 40. Okay, so you used to be able to get up to 40 through Streetbach's old skills, but now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and try and activate everyone. Okay, and let's see if Ghidorah's skill goes through. And really, it's like as soon as it lands. So right now it's just invincibility. Right now it's just vulnerability. So we're not quite there yet. And so what I'm going to do is activate it one more time with Ghidorah. And sometimes, like if it doesn't go through, like I can save a little bit. But in this case, I'm just going to use a small potion and see. So now we have Assassin's Mark, but we don't have decreased defense, which is actually more important, because if I use this right now, you can see 44. The decreased defense actually is going to be important here. And right now, I think with 33,000, like I might be able to just survive the attack. This is where I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to survive this. Like it's going to be a waste of health to go up to 40. So I'm not sure that 7,000 is going to make a big difference, but let's take a look. And so let's see, so we're going to be getting, so that's 9,000 right there, and then the gem, I lost about half of my health, and this is a yellow on yellow boss, okay? And so you can just see how devastating the attack can be. Okay, and so what I need to do, Street Block, we'll activate that, and we still have enough taunt from Martin, so that's okay, but I don't have enough dark gems here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just take away, I'm gonna try and take away the ability for Bastard to do his skill, just because I want to avoid as much as possible. You can see like it's almost enough to take me out, right? And so let's go ahead and do this. Like we should be able to activate everybody now. And so the hope is we can get both to land. So vulnerability again, this is the risk of using Ghidorah because she doesn't always land everything. And it's getting a little bit frustrating here where it doesn't go, but I'm able to get that. At this point, this is where I basically unload everything. So you can see the amount of damage is now a lot higher. So that was 71, we're up to the 74. And you know, when you can, go ahead and unload everything, right? Go ahead and unload everything. So you'll see the amount of damage that Gorak is going to deal increases because his health is going lower. We're now at 80,000. Yeah, 80,000 I believe is going to be a max. And so that is, yeah, that's how much I'm able to deal. And then so what I'm going to do here is a little trick too. Like if you can use Martin's skill earlier, go ahead and use that because he heals himself a little bit. So that's going to save you, some potions in the long run. Because what you can do is you can combine Street Box skill and you can also use the gem match to give yourself one more turn to heal. And so because because the Bastard's skill is not going to be applied just yet, so I don't really need to worry about giving him health potion. That gives me another chance to attack. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, and so with this, I should be able to do, you know, over 1 million damage pretty easily, provided I don't make a mistake at this point. And so you can see now I'm going to, you know, just to be safe, I'm going to give myself a little bit of potion just to, you know, give myself a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of buffer to work with. And we're going to lose both decreased defense and also vulnerability. So let's hope that we can get it landed again. We don't land it, and so let's see the difference between damage, right? So we went from 80,000 down to 52,000. That's a really big difference because decreased defense really is the one that gives you the majority of the damage, especially if your hero is a high damage dealer. Having decreased defense is going to allow 50% more of that attack to go through. All right, so now notice that I don't have Martin available, so this is why you want to save some of these potions. This is what I'm saying, the small potions are really helpful in that regard, because if you don't, you'll be losing Martin at this point. Okay, and so let's take a look here. So we're at 916. With 20 more turns, we'll probably be able to get to close to 1.2 if everything goes okay with me. But we only have one more small potion remaining, and we have one more small potion remaining, and we have just 5 health potions left. And so this is the time where I need to be very careful about my gem matches, my management of my mana. Didn't get it, so now I'm gonna have to use my last health potion. I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to activate this. I'll see 29. I do need to get more. So this is now like, I'm empty. I have no more mana potion. I have 17 turns remaining, and so this is where I need to start thinking about, like, making more matches with Street Block. Street Block is not just there for to go first. He's also there to give me more mana generation. Another hero that I think would be useful to bring in here instead of Street Block would actually be a hero like Bruxa. So Bruxa actually provides 60 mana to your ally, and I think 70 at max. And so you can actually get quite a bit of mana from her. And so in that case, like if you're ever short on mana, you'll be able to get some from her. Okay. And so let's see. We're gonna go ahead and do this. We have, so like, we're hoping to get to a little over 1 million. We're getting close to this. So this is the approach when you want to go with Martin. Okay, Martin's going to be the best. Martin's going to be the best, I would say, tank for this purpose, because he's a yellow boss. But if you have other tanks that can survive the hits, you can do that as well. Dragon selections, if you're using someone other than Martin, I would say probably bring in Bastet yourself, so that all of the Bastet's hits are going to count as weak against it, so that you don't have you don't lose as much health. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm matching the yellow gems because I want to take that away from Bastet, but I couldn't do that because of the unlucky drop. We are running a little bit low on the health potion, but we still have enough to go around for now. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going with this, and then 1, 2. Okay, I can actually do this. Yeah, so that's gonna allow me to get a little bit more health. Couldn't really get Godora's skill to go, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1.1. So we're close to the 1.2 that I was thinking about. If I can get like one really good shot in there, like if I can get both of these negatives to land, which they don't land. I could have gone there, right? If both of them had landed. So I'm going to save on this a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, unfortunately, because we're not going to be able to do this. We're not going to be able to get Gordora to go. We don't have any more mana potions, so we're just going to go ahead and do 11,000. We didn't even get a critical damage. So 1.16 is going to be about the most that we're going to be able to get. We're going to lose our taunts at this point as well. So now we're just going to go ahead and try and deal as much damage as we could. Okay, and so what's going to happen is we're going to lose Gorak, and then we're going to lose Godora, and then the very next turn, Bastet's going to take out Martin, right? So we're just going to do this. So 1.172 is going to be most likely the final damage, yeah, because we don't have to reflect from Streetblock, and we're going to lose Martin at this point. So that is that is basically sort of like, how normally I would have played this out, but I wanted to show how I built a different team based on just like my thought process on like what do I think is important for gears and things like that. You can see here against Bastet, because I know that it doesn't matter for the other stats for Lenora and for Diana. I was actually able to do something pretty I think it was actually effective. I just didn't manage the invincibility right. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's a live stream, so I could do this, show you my thought process live. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Comment down below in the comment section, and if you have any questions, you can also ask me directly in my Discord server. So take a look. The links are all in the description below. Join the server. Love to have you guys there. There's a lot of people that are providing a lot of good information. And that's gonna be it from me today, guys. I'll come back in the next set of videos. I'll talk about some of the upcoming changes that are planned. I didn't get to talk about that in the last time, but I'll talk more about that. And then there's going to be more heroes that I'm going to highlight. Just a quick preview, I'm going to be talking about these following heroes. Just a quick preview, I'm going to be talking about these heroes, which I think are actually pretty good. Okay, and I'll talk about how I plan on using them, why I think they're worth leveling up, and what you should, in what situations they work best in. Okay, so that's gonna be it for me for today, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. All 44 minutes of it, relatively long stream, but hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you